Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Deep Thoughts. And today we are talking about Given, Episode 4, Fluorescent Adolescence. Before we begin though, I do want to give a super special nod to the people who shared last week's video, namely at Ophelia Main, at Sassy Simone 125, and at DCipher14. Thanks for spreading the word, you guys. It is so friggin' appreciated. And if you want to see your name shouted out in the next video, be sure to share the video around on the internet and then tag me at JoJo Talks Too Much over on Twitter to let me know that you did. Also, I definitely could not cover the amount of shows that I've been covering this season if it wasn't for the good folks over on Patreon. So big shout out to you guys. It is so friggin' appreciated. If you want to join us and check out our exclusive Patreon only Discord, be sure to check out the first link in the description. That would be super rad of you. Without further ado though, we're gonna go ahead and get into this one. Spoilers, as always with this series, I really dug it. Seeing Yuen Oyama's process was rather interesting. The dude is kind of, how do I put it? He's your typical how do I put this? Typical indie movie musician, if you know what I mean, where he's got all the papers spread out around him in a circle, and he's got the guitar in his one hand, and he's got the pencil or the pen in his mouth, and he uses it when he needs, he'll take it out and write on the thing, and he'll play a couple more chords, and he'll write down another one, and he's tuned out the world with his headphones, people are trying to talk to him and he don't care. Yes, it's cheese. Yes, I'm okay, I've seen this in many an indie movie, but I really like it when I see it in indie movies, and I really like it here. It really paints Yuen Oyama as a genuinely serious and artistic dude who's really passionate about what he does, namely music. He's passionate about his craft, and he's excited to share that craft with Sato. You can tell that not only does this come from a place of Yuen Oyama being excited to write music, it also comes from Sato, as we see later on with the sister. His sister, I can't remember her name, but the sister ends up stumbling across Kaji at college and tells him hey, so my brother was all excited to make music again. I haven't seen that in a while. Has something been going on? Did you guys get a show? What's going on? So while this isn't the first time this has happened, Yuen Oyama definitely has shown that, or has that passion and has had that sort of behavior before, but it's also because of Sato. He's back in he's almost rediscovering music himself while showing Sato music, and rediscovering his love for writing music, and it was just neat to me that Sato is the reason. I appreciate that. And we also see two separate love triangles in this week's episode. Now, we already knew about the Kaji, Haruki, and Yuen Oyama's sister one. That was well established back in episode 1. In this one though, we get Yuen Oyama, Sato, and Yuen Oyama's classmate, who I kind of knew that this is where we were going to go eventually, but I will say that while I haven't read the series, I have only seen videos on said series. I will say that the classmate is giving me complex vibes, and I don't mean that my vibes are complex. I mean that she reminds me of the homewrecker from Complex of the series. So that's probably not good. Okay, listen. I know you guys are gonna be like, what? I kind of live for triangles just because I'm go ahead, try to get in the way of my boys, because it ain't gonna happen. You ain't gonna separate my boys. They're together. Deal with it. I'm kind of excited to see where this whole love triangle is gonna go. I know with Haruki and Kaji, that's the one that I'm okay, that one could go either way, but with Sato and Yuen Oyama, I really don't see little Miss Rando actually doing anything, actually getting in the way. I think Yuen Oyama's focused solely on Sato, and she's just not quite used to that. She thought, eventually they'd get together, and it didn't quite work out that way, and now she's a little bit jealous, and I don't blame her. I've certainly been that person before where, you wait too long, and then they find somebody else, and you're all wait, no, that's not, damn it. I know that feeling. And you do have that moment of well, maybe I can still convince them to get with me instead. Doesn't always work out that way, though. Especially here, when it's very clear that Yuen Oyama's sole focus is Sato, and that ain't gonna change. So I'm just saying, I encourage you to try classmate girl, but I won't feel bad when you get rejected. Okay, that was mean. I'm gonna go ahead and segue into something more nice, which is namely effect pedals. Effect pedals actually come heavy into play in this episode, which does make sense. I mean, eventually, like, given that they are a band with electric guitars, you knew at some point effect pedals were gonna come into play. Now, I'm not really a guitar guy. I'm more of a ukulele guy, so effect pedals are sort of out of my wheelhouse. It's out of my realm of knowledge. So I'm aware of what they are. I'm aware of how they work. So I didn't really need the explainer, but I do feel like if you didn't know anything about them, you would be like, oh yeah, okay, I get it. Like, it makes sense. Like, they're the things that make the guitar go wah-wah, which is literally what Yu Oyama explains it as. It makes it go wah-wah or wow. Like, is this a good explainer? By the way, just to further cement that these two are definitely gonna get together, this man wrote a song, is in the process of writing a song for Sato, trying to write the, like, la 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 song that, like, Sato keeps trying to figure out. So Yu Oyama's actually gonna help him try to figure out either, like, turning that, like, basically trying to turn that melody into a song, which is really friggin' sweet. And also, like, all I could think of was, you can tell everybody this is your song. Speaking of getting together, the band is now fully together. They have assembled. The Avengers have assembled, and the band is actually all together now, with Sato finally joining the band. It only took 4 episodes, but that's what I like about the show, is the pace. Like, I still feel like one of the shows, I shouldn't say saving grace, because I do feel like some people probably will fall off of the show because of the pace. Now, for me, I love the pace. I think the show the show has become an expert at the slow burn. And I know some people are like, ugh, slow burns, but, like, for me, I like a slow burn kind of show, and Gibbons got the whole thing mapped out, and I appreciate that. Of course, we also get to see the two go on a date. I mean, totally just shopping as friends, going to shop for effect pedals. It's a date. It's totally a date. It's 110% a date. In fact, it is so a date that the love triangle rears its head when the girl is just like, why are they always together? What the hell? And we find out that there were rumors. There was, rumor has it that apparently we don't even really find out what the rumor is. We just find out that I need to learn these characters' names. Yu Oyama's friend who is interested in him, her friend went to school with Sato back in middle school, and in middle school there were rumors about Sato, which I think I know what the rumors are. Maybe I'm wrong, but the way it's hinted at, it's very clearly that the rumors were that Sato was gay. Which, we're in 2019, why is that a rumor worth spreading? Who cares? I know that, like, it matters because she's part of a love triangle, so of course she would want to know if the man is even, like, interested in her boy or not. He very clearly is, and I don't know. It does upset me, like, that it's like, oh, there was rumors about Sato. Like, who cares? But again, it's important to the plot, so it matters to the plot, so that's fine. And truth be told, folks, I do not have anything bad to really say about the episode. In fact, if anything, I just have more and more praise that I'm not getting to for the sake of time. Like, I didn't even get into Take's Seiyu. Take is, like, the guy who invited the band to join his concert that he's putting on. Take Seiyu, that voice actor is flawless. I don't know what it was about that voice, but I was just like, yes, please continue speaking. Also, the train bit, I thought was friggin' adorable. The stuff, the fact that the main cast's constantly changing outfits, like, it again just further cements that this is like a real place. And speaking of real place, the friggin' city, the background art is so good. But yeah, the only real quote-unquote complaint that I would have is that the beginning is sort of a slow start. But again, you already know that that's kind of one of the things I like about the show, so it's not really a negative for me. I don't have anything bad to say, which means that I can wrap up this video here by telling you that this episode is getting an A+, a perfect episode. Holy cow. I friggin' adored this episode, but before I leave you, I do, as always, have to give a big shout out to the good folks over on Patreon, namely those in the Earl Grey tier. Dominic, Urza, No For Nothing, Maria Teresa, Omner Garamond, Opinionated Slime, Shadow Creative, Sipco Games, Tristan, and Verdon. Thank you guys so much for your continued support over on Patreon. It is super appreciated. By the way, for anybody in the Earl Grey tier, or just anybody curious about joining the Earl Grey tier, just a reminder, you can, instead of having a shout out, instead ask a question that will be answered in a video. You can do so over on the Discord. There's like a little section where you can ask questions and you can tell me which show you want it to be featured in, all that fun stuff. Go check out the Discord for more of an explainer on that. But that's gonna be it for now. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, then you've probably been on the internet long enough to know what to do already, so I ain't gonna tell you, but I will say that it is appreciated. And if you're feeling stressed out today, go have yourself a warm cup of tea, and I will talk to you guys again real soon.